Good afternoon. I'm calling this meeting to order for East Baton Rouge Council on Aging Board of Directors. Reverend Moss, can we get you to provide us with an invocation?
God, we thank you for this day, for this is the day that you have made, and we're going to rejoice in it. Even as we bring this meeting to its opening, we pause even now to lift up Eva Pratt, thanking you for what you've done there. Now give this meeting meaning as well as purpose to the end that you get the glory. It is in the mighty and matchless name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the roll call.
Sergeant Connie Kurtz,
Here.
Attorney Jennifer Mozat,
Absent.
Attorney Jacqueline Nash Grant,
Absent.
Coach Anthony Jones,
Present.
Councilwoman Carolyn Coleman,
Absent.
Miss Mary Washington,
Here.
Miss Kathy Coleman,
Absent.
Reverend Dr. Mary Whitley Moss,
Here.
Reverend Donald Hunter Sr.,
Absent.
Miss Geraldine Key, Miss Jerry Booker,
Here.
Senator Larry Selders,
Absent.
Mrs. Sonia Boss, Attorney Tracy Woods,
Here.
and Major Frederick Thomas.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda.
Take a motion.
Can I get a motion to,
I move that we adopt the agenda. Second.
it's been moved by Ms. Mary Washington and seconded by Reverend Mary Moss that we adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda, public comments. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Seeing there's none. Next item on the agenda is action items. First one is the certification of the Board Director minutes meeting for the annual meeting on May 15, 2025 at 4 p.m. Those, copy of those minutes are in your packets. Can I get a motion to,
So moved. Second.
been moved by Tracy Wood, second by Mary Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay, it passed. Now we need a certification for the board meeting of May 15, 2025 at 5:30. Those are also in your packet. Can I get a motion?
I move that we adopt the certification of the board of directors meeting minutes with any necessary corrections.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mary Washington, seconded by Jerry Booker. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. The next item on the agenda is Chairwoman's report. It's going to be a board member resignation. I have a letter that was sent in. It says, to the Board of Directors, I have not been able to meet the obligations as a board member in the past year. With that said, it is with great sadness that I ask not to be considered for my potential final term. My time with EBRCOA and its board members have been extremely rewarding. It's taken a part of my heart, especially seeing the compassion that the board works to secure funding or other resources for our aging community. This is an impressive organization, and it will always have my support. I believe in the work of the staff and the board to continue to move forward with this vision and support of the seniors of East Baton Rouge. My absence has been due to assisting my siblings with the care of my mother. It would not be fair of me to keep someone who can dedicate the time and focus to the board, and this is from Geraldine Key. Geraldine Key. So we will have to appoint someone to fulfill her unfilled term. She was the Baton Rouge Community appointment. The Board Development Committee will meet and go through the applications and bring their suggestions back to the full board for us to vote on at a later time.
We do have applications from when we took some about a month or so ago, we had at least 50 resumes and, yeah. So we do have some applicants that we can pull from. And so we'll just get a board development meeting together and let you guys, Madam Chair, I think you're the chair of the board development. Who the chair of the board development?
Attorney Jacqueline Nash.
Jackie Nash. When she gets back, we'll let you guys just go over it and then make some suggestions for the full board.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is GOEA annual documentation.
Okay, so for, moving forward, I'll handle the next items on the agenda. These are just annual documents that we have to have. The first one is bylaw certification. Madam Chair, if you don't mind, I'm gonna read in the resolution, and then, if we could, take both of these items together. The first one is Board of Directors bylaw certification. This is certified that the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging reviewed its bylaws dated June 26, 2025, and its Board of Directors meeting June 26 of 2025, and found them to be in compliance with the Governor's Office of Elderly Affairs, GOEA Policy and Procedure Manual, Statute 1161. The bylaws dated May 18, 2018, have not been revised. The bylaws were found to concur with the agency's article of incorporation. And so we'll just get the board secretary. There haven't been any changes made. Okay. And then the second one is 3D, Title 3D, evidence-based highest level certification form. This is to certify that the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Council on Area Agency on Aging, that should be AN, review Title 3D evidence-based program and certifies that it meets the requirements of the highest level evidence-based. The certification documents are on file for the current year. The program approved by GOEA effective 7/1/2015 is still being provided. So we're still working out of the 2015 document. Okay. Madam Chair, we can get some acceptance and then
Okay.
some motions.
Okay, you heard the GOEA annual documentation for the bylaw certification and the evidence-based certification. Can I get a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion that we accept the certify or accept or present annual documentation for the GOEA. Second.
Okay, it's been motioned by Tracy Woods and seconded by Coach Anthony Jones. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, it passes.
That was for A and B?
Yes.
Okay. Madam Chair, item D is some other resolutions taking care of the business for, before the end of the fiscal year. First one is resolution for contract approval. It is the resolution that you all give me to enter into contracts with other agencies and entities. And it reads, on the 26th day of June 2025, at a meeting of the Board of Directors for the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Inc., a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, with a quorum of its directors present, the following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded that the following resolution be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors do hereby authorize, I got my full government name in here. Tasha Clark Amar, Chief Executive Officer, to sign and execute contracts on behalf of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Inc. And further, we do hereby give her the power and authority to do all things necessary to implement, maintain, and amend and renew said contract effective the 26th day of June. The above resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voting in accordance with bylaws and articles of incorporation. I certify that the above and foregoing constitutes a true and correct copy of a part of the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors. So that is what we do there every year. It just gives me approval to continue to enter into contracts for the agency. Can I get a motion?
Can I get a motion to approve this?
I so move.
Second, can I get a second? Okay, it's been moved by Mary Washington, seconded by Coach Jones, that, this contract is, this resolution is approved. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
The
Second.
next item is, I lost my agenda.
Lotus
What is it?
Lotus at the Lakes. Lotus Village at the Lakes.
Okay, yes, the resolution for the Lotus Village at the Lakes project. So I'm just gonna give you a synopsis and overview what the resolution is. The resolutions, moving forward are 2 pages, so I'll just hit the high points. The attorney says we don't have to read it all in the record, just hit the high points. So, the project context is the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging is advancing the development of the Lotus Village at the Lakes project. This resolution authorizes key legal and operational steps necessary for the formation and governance of the project's development entities and the transfer of property. Key authorizations, the CEO authority, the board authorizes Tasha Clark Amar, CEO of EBRCOA, to act on the behalf of the organization in all matters related to the project. Entity formation, the CEO is empowered to execute articles of organization and operating agreements for the Lotus Village at the Lake GP LLC. And what that is there are 2 entities. We are the owners of the property. We have a developer that will be doing the contractual work with a contractor to build the housing development, and HUD needs that relationship to be formed between the 2 of us. It's the same way we built this project back here. And it says, Articles of Organization and Operating Agreement for Lotus Village at the Lake, a joint venture between EBRCOA and the Gulf Coast Housing Partnership. This LLC will serve as the general partner of the Lotus Village at the Lake LP, the entity responsible for the project's development and financing. With property donation, the CEO is authorized to execute an active donation of the designated property, which is approximately 4.83 acres, from tract C2 to Lotus Village at the Lake LP, including any related documents such as the Cooperative Endeavor Agreement, contingent upon legal permissibility under Louisiana law. Legal administrative provisions. The CEO may execute any additional documents and perform all necessary actions to implement the resolution. All lawful acts performed under this authority are ratified and confirmed by the board. And so the resolution reads, be it resolved that on the behalf of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Inc., Tasha Clark Amar, CEO, is duly authorized and directed to act on behalf of the corporation in connection with one certain project known as Lotus Village at the Lake, with respect to property shown in Exhibit A, attached hereto and made a part hereof, the property including without limitations, to execute certain corporate documents including without limitations, articles of incorporations, operations agreement with Gulf Coast members, Lotus Village at the Lakes to be the general partnership, to execute one certain act of donation of the property to Lotus Village at the Lakes LP and all documents connecting therewith, including without limitations of a cooperative endeavor agreement, and that will be dated to date. So the property is currently owned by the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, which is you all. This property will be rolled into our now joint venture and be donated to the project. At the end of the project, we will get reimbursed for the value and what we paid for the property. We, meaning the Council on Aging, will get, I think the property is worth about $80,000. We'll get $80,000 back at the closing table at the end of the deal. Okay? All right.
Okay.
So we need a resolution. We need a
Can I get a
motion.
motion for this resolution?
I so move.
All right.
Okay, it's been moved by Mary Washington, seconded by Jerry Booker, that we accept this resolution. All in, okay, resolution passed.
Okay. The next item, Madam Chair, is resolution for the, to purchase, no, which one is it?
Immovable property.
Immovable properties, Lotus Village Phase 2. All right, so I'll give you a brief synopsis of that one. The purpose is, the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging Board of Directors has authorized the acquisition of multiple parcels of immovable property located in the suburb Gracie area of East Baton Rouge Parish. This acquisition supports the organization's ongoing development and expansion initiatives. Key authorization, the CEO empowerment. The board authorizes Tasha Clark Amar, to execute all documents necessary to purchase property from Riddick Investment LLC, Downtown East Properties LLC. Finalize the acquisition on terms she deems appropriate and advisable. Perform all related actions to complete the transaction with all lawful acts ratified by the board. The property details are as follows. The resolution includes detailed legal description of the properties to be acquired, which are located. Okay, so when you drive back here, you see houses, empty lots, houses. And so we have about $1.5 million in capital outlay funds that sit at the Treasury at the state. We're gonna use those dollars to acquire all these empty lots back here. And then what we'll do is we'll use that to do our Lotus Village Phase 2. So this is Lotus Village, the apartments back here. And so our next phase in the plan, which we had drawn when we drew the apartments, is the next thing we'll do is single homes. Because we want to put some homes back in here that seniors and other folks can rent and live or buy. And so between us and Care South, the clinic, we're going to purchase all the blighted property that's for sale back in this area. And so the property details are as follows. Squares 14, 17, 18, 26, 27, and 36 of suburb Gracie. Highlights include multiple lots on North 16th Street and Gayosa Street, including lots A, B, C, and E in Square 18, south one half of a lot J in Square 18, part of lot 2 in Square 14, north one half of lot 12 in Square 17, lot 4 in Square 26, lots 3, 6, 7, and 12 in Square 27, parcels 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Square 36. The total area, the combined square footage spans several parcels, each with specific dimensions. Municipal addresses will be outlined in Exhibits A and B. We're currently still working on the purchase agreement because every time we get ready to go, then there's 2 or 3 more lots, right? So by June 30th, we'll have a purchase agreement signed, executed, and sent in the state because the money has to be encumbered by June 30th. So the resolution will read as follows. Be it resolved that on behalf of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Tasha Clark Amar, CEO, is duly authorized and directed to act on behalf of the corporation to sign any and all documents in connection with the purchase of certain immovable property of the acquisition within East Baton Rouge Parish, State of Louisiana, more fully described in Exhibits A, Exhibit B, and there will be an Exhibit C attached hereto and made part of the record hereto to the property from Riddick Investments LLC, Downtown East Properties LLC. And even after we buy all of that I just said, that's only like $600,000 that we still have over close to $1 million to spend. Take a motion.
Can I get a motion for, to approve this resolution for immovable property at Lotus Village Phase 2?
Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved by Frederick Thomas and seconded by Mary Washington that we approve this resolution. All in favor? All opposed? Resolution passes.
So the next item is resolution to utilize capital outlay funding to purchase said immovable properties that we just talked about for Lotus Village at the Lakes and Lotus Village Phase 2. So we'll start with the Lakes. The East Baton Rouge Council on Aging is advancing the development of Lotus Village at the Lakes Senior Community, a capital outlay project supported by the state of Louisiana through the Facility Planning and Control Division of the administration. The project is officially designated FP&C project number 50-NRU-22-01. Board resolution highlights the Board of Directors have formally authorized Tasha Clark Amar, CEO, to act on behalf of the organization in all matters related to the planning, development, and construction of the Lotus Village project. The CEO is empowered to expend state-provided funds, execute all necessary documents, and take any action deemed appropriate to advance the project. The resolution affirms that all lawful acts performed under this authority are ratified and confirmed by the Board. Funding summary. Total estimated cost of the project is $18.3 million. per 2024-25 capital outlay request. Current state funding is $9.68 million from 2024 in bonds and a line of credit, another $1 million from 2022 in general funds, non-recurring, local match requirements, which is $3.5 million, which may come from either us or Louisiana Housing Corporation, and tax credit bonds. Then the total current funding is $14.2 million. FP&C administrative fees is $75,000 combined. Key notes: planning costs are capped at 10% and miscellaneous costs at 5% of construction costs. The revised funding summary supersedes previous detailed allocation. And so the resolution reads as, be it resolved that on behalf of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Inc., Tasha Clark Amar, the executive officer of the corporation, is duly authorized and directed to act on behalf of the corporation to expend and utilize funds provided by the state of Louisiana through the Facility Planning and Control Division of Administration for acquisition, planning, rehabilitation, and construction of immovable properties in connection with one certain capital outlay project known as Lotus Village Phase 2. Acquisition, planning, rehabilitation, and construction for FP&C project number 50 NRU-2301. Can I get a motion for that one?
Can I get a motion to use capital outlay projects for Lotus Village Phase 2?
Lotus Village at the Lakes Phase 2.
Oh.
I said,
It's been moved by Jerry Booker, seconded by Mary Washington, that to use capital outlay funding projects to purchase and movable property at Lotus Village at the Lakes Phase 2. All in favor? Any opposed?
I just have a question.
Yeah.
This is part of education.
Okay.
It says, can you tell me about these projects, because I don't know anything about it.
Sure. Okay, so we'll start with Lotus Village at the Lakes that we just approved. So Lotus Village at the Lakes is a 69-unit housing development and community for seniors in the Baker area. It's at Baker and off Plank and Kent Road. We own 8 acres of land there. We meaning the Council on Aging, and we have been awarded about $14 million from the state, another $3.1 million from HUD, which is in their elderly 202 project. And in that money from HUD, 10 units are to be utilized for grandparents raising their grandchildren. Also on this same property, we will put a large senior center and community type center, similar to the one around the corner that you all met at the other day, to the Lotus Center. And so we have been working on this project for 3-4 years, and now we're at the point where we're about to do the demoing of the land, the backfill, and we're gonna get ready to engage some contractors and get this project done in the next 2 or 3 years. So
Do these projects, do we hire a project manager for all this stuff, or you manage all of it?
this last one I managed, the one back here, but I'm not this time. It's a lot, and they're trying to run their agency, and so we have a developer, and our employee, Ms. Sanders, that is our new housing director. She will be our person at the project, but I won't manage it.
Okay.
Yeah. The architect is Coleman Partners. Joe Saffioti is the architect on the project, and we are about to bid for contractors. So that's Lotus Village at the Lakes. Now Lotus Village is where we currently are sitting, and it is a 9-block village, and it's designated by Village to Village, which is a network of villages across the country. We're the only one in the state of Louisiana. And what it is we're trying to bring this community back, make it walkable, have seniors have a hub here. It's almost gonna be like St. James Place on a budget. We're gonna ball on the budget. And so our first development was this 116-unit apartments that we have back here. You hadn't seen them yet, so we don't have to take a tour.
I think I have, I just gotta take a tour.
Okay.
I didn't know you owned them.
Yeah, we own them. Oh, yes, ma'am, we own them. Uh-huh. We own them. All of them. We own them. And so it's 116 agent in place units, 1-bedroom apartments, with all the bells and whistles, bed shakers, light flashers, they smart homes, wash and dryer, tablets can run the whole unit. And so it's a place where a senior can come in as independently as they are today and age in place until they go home to be with the Lord. And so we have 8 blocks that we own. We're sitting on 2 or 3. They're sitting on about 3 or 4. And what we're doing now is, when we design this community, is to do a phase 2. And all this empty property that you see, we're going to acquire that before June 30th. And then we, meaning us, and we're going to design houses, single family homes, garden homes, maybe some condos around this. And when you go out this way, the clinic is also a part of the village. So the village was designed to have housing, community activity, which is 2 blocks at the main street where we were. The medical piece, so you don't have to go anywhere. And the last piece of the village is we're working on a grocery store or some kind of open air food market where seniors can go get groceries, fresh fruits and vegetables, and sit out and eat in this community. So you can. Yeah, so we're on the second phase of this, is to acquire the property and start putting other houses in it. We also own 4 houses in this village already, and we're gonna ribbon cut on one. One is ready to go. We'll get our first tenant. I think that rent is gonna be $18,000 or $2,000. Housing Authority is gonna pay for a senior to live there. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. Ribbon cutting is when?
July 8th.
July 8th. You guys will get invited to that. But and so that's what these projects are. All right. And so where I stopped at? Okay. It's phase 2, Lotus Village development, focused on acquisition, planning, rehabilitation, and construction of immovable property. This phase is supported by capital outlay funding from the state of Louisiana. The board authorizes Tasha Clark Amar, CEO, to act on behalf of the organization in all matters related to execution of phase 2. The CEO is empowered to expand and utilize state-provided funds for the project, execute all necessary documents related to acquisition, planning, rehabilitation, and construction, make decision at her sole discretion regarding the terms of such actions. Funding summary is as follows. Estimated construction costs, we have $520,000 in capital outlay for construction. Total project funding is $2 million. $1 million from 2023 Governor's Office bonds and line of credit. $500,000 from 2023 general fund. $500,000 local match at 25% is required by the CEA. FP&C administrative fee is $67,500. Planning costs are capped at 10%, miscellaneous costs at 5% of construction costs. And so the resolution reads that be it resolved that on behalf of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Inc., Tasha Clark Amar, CEO of the corporation, is duly authorized and directed to act on behalf of the corporation to expend and utilize funds provided by the state of Louisiana through the Facility Planning and Control Division of Administration for Planning, Development, and Construction of Immovable Properties in connection with one certain capital outlay project known as Lotus Village Senior Community Planning and Development and Construction, and to sign any and all documents in connection of said. Take a motion for that.
Can I get a motion to adopt a resolution to use this capital outlay funding to purchase this immovable property for Lotus Village?
I so move.
It's been moved by Mary Washington, seconded by Anthony Jones, that we accept this resolution. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next item on the agenda is informational items.
Just a reminder, tomorrow, boots on the ground. Rev, I want to see you in your boots.
Ain't got no boots.
You ain't got no boots. It's our senior skip day at the Celtic studios tomorrow. The seniors are so very excited and geared up and ready to go. And we're gonna have a good time. And they got their boots and their dukes and they're ready to go.
They got their fans?
They got their fans. We providing. We got 2,000 fans. We providing.
You got one in
You,
your
it's in your bag. Yeah. You look behind you. You
Behind
sitting
you,
on
in
it.
your chair.
Check your fan out while you're in there. So when they ask you
Fan
where
at
them
church.
fans at, you can fan at church. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you some fans for church too. I got those kind too. We'll make sure you get some, and I'm gonna give you some for your church too. They ain't funeral fans. What the fans at? Go get them. No, not them. I want the paper ones, the ones we just got.
You want the little ones for the church?
I got the ones for the church too.
Yeah, the church fans.
Yeah, get all the deacons. So we also are getting ready, in September, we're gonna have our Healthy Aging Conference. This is just for you all to put on your calendar. A lot of the staff will be at the U.S. Aging Conference in Chicago, and Meals on Wheels Conference in San Antonio. And in August, I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation in August. That's it,
Okay.
in August. I know I'm going on vacation. And Trudy's going on vacation. We're going on vacation. So we want to get the new business?
Yeah. Okay. Any unfinished business?
No.
Okay, new business?
New business, just a couple of things. We may have to have a follow-up meeting sometimes before the end of August. We were going to have some budget information for you all to approve today, but with Ms. Pratt being out, and if I'm honest, nobody is prepared to do what she does, and so we'll see if she'll be ready in August. We did let the governor's office know that she was going out, and so they gave us to the end of August. And if we need longer, I can call them back. And it's just the budget for 2026. As you know, we already we're closing out the FY25, and so it's for 2026, just for the governor's office of elderly affairs in the city. In the city. So hopefully, and just to that. Today, just a minute ago before you got here, I got a text message from Mr. Pratt that Ms. Pratt has been up. She walking, she's in her room, and she ain't said no spicy words yet, so he'll let me know when she all the way good. That's it. And so thank you all for doing this, because we normally don't have meetings. We try not to have meetings in the summer months because we know you all are out, but I had to get this done before June 30th. Got to spend up some money.
No worries.
That's it. Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Can I get a motion for adjournment?
I think that.
I don't think we have any objections.